This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted to be joined by the Doc, John Docherty. We're here at the Steel City Gym in Sheffield. How are you, Doc?
All good, yeah. Just training away and just waiting on a fight date now.
You are waiting on a fight date. We'll come on to that in a bit. But as I mentioned, I'm at the Steel City Gym in Sheffield. The last time I caught up with you, I was in the Matchroom Gym in Brentwood. Obviously, a few things have changed since then. Most notably, of course, a change in trainer. Just explain to me, because I've not spoken to you since then, the kind of the reasons behind the move.
Well, just basically I was a bit too far away from Tony's gym, and then I was coming back and I was missing sessions, and it showed in my fight. And there was some other things behind closed doors what I wasn't happy with, and obviously I sounded a new management, and I moved to Grant's gym, and since I've been here, he's seen I've got big improvements, and I'm just looking forward to the fight now to show everyone what I've been working on. Do you know what I mean? You always see me going in there trying to knock everyone out and do this, and in my last fight I come unstuck. That's what basically happened. I know there were certain things behind closed doors that people didn't know, but I come unstuck, and Jack Cullen beat me. Do you know what I mean? So, and getting beat of Jack Cullen wasn't in my plan on getting beat. Do you know what I mean? So Grant took me back to my basics basically, and I can see big improvements already. But it's all right me saying it just now. It's just doing it in the ring, you know what I mean?
Let's talk about the Jack Cullen loss, the first loss in any fighter's career. You know, can make them go one way, the other. What was it like for you, the immediate aftermath of losing your unbeaten record?
Not good at all, to be fair. I basically went into depression mode, really. Just never really spoke to no one. Didn't want to box. I was going to quit, to be fair. I was going to stop. I just thought I've got to beat Jack Cullen. When am I going to go? But then 7 weeks went past, and I just thought to myself, I've put too much into this. And the Jack Cullen fight, I had like a 4-week camp. Do you know what I mean? So I never had nothing, and no excuses. Jack Cullen beat me fair and well. But what I'm saying is, and things behind the closed doors, what I've changed now, and I'm thankful Jack Cullen beat me at that time, because if he never would have beat me and I would have won, it would have kept me on the same path I was going. But now I've changed the path, I've changed all my food. I'm just doing everything. I'm like an athlete just now. I'm back to like a full-time athlete, and you're going to see the beneficial when I'm fighting.
I'm sure you've had time now to reflect on the fight and go back and watch it. What were you not happy with?
Just basically, I was lunging on my chin in the air. Grant, basically, I didn't see it at all till I come to Grant's gym, and Grant's picked all the bad bits out of me, and it's unbelievable the things he's seen from just the first session, and now what I've changed, how it was making. I thought I was just lunging in, and my chin was going that way. It was my feet was in the wrong place. I was lunging with the backhand, not just firing it off. I can keep going on and on what Grant's worked on me, but when I've come down here, Grant's just stripped me back, as I said, and I've just got back to my boxing ability, and you're going to see a completely different John Docherty. Do you know what I mean? That fight there with Jack Cullen, I was jumping in with chin in the air. I was getting caught with a jab what I should never be getting caught with, and that's what basically won the fight. I'm not taking nothing away from Jack Cullen. He's a good fighter, and I wish him all the best. And if he keeps winning, and obviously I keep winning, that's a fight I really want again. Do you know what I mean? But obviously he's got to keep winning, and I've got to keep winning. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just going to keep focusing on Jack Cullen. I've just got to get back to winning ways, and hopefully win a few titles by the end of the year.
I mentioned that the last time I caught up with you was down in Brentwood at the Matchroom Boxing Gym. That was a busy gym, vibrant gym, a lot of guys knocking around the gym. You've come from one gym like that to another like this. Yeah. So another kind of very kind of family type gym here. Of course, you've got Grant and Dalton, quite literally family, Sonny and Charlie, and the rest of the guys. How have you found the transition and the switch? I'm sure that made you feel very welcome.
Yeah, very good. I know Dalton from the GB setup, I mean, and Sonny, so and Grant's a very family man, as you said. He's made me feel welcome, and I've actually it's like I'm back into full camp, like training camp. Like it's just like when I'm down here in Sheffield now for the 10-week camp I've got, it's like I'm in training camp. When I was at Brentwood, I had distractions. I had like a lot of pals there. When I was going back, I wasn't doing my running. I was going with my pals and doing this and doing that. Here, I've got my family here, but that's all I've got here. So when I'm going back to the house and that there, I'm going for my runs. I'm getting bored. I mean, I've got to train. There's nothing else to do here. So for the full 10 weeks, all I'm doing is training. And yeah, Grant's made me feel very welcome, and Grant's going to bring the best out of me. And I know it is because I just know the way I'm training just now. And obviously I've got the S&C coach Reese, and he's doing very good work with me. So I'm just looking forward to the future and showing everyone this fight coming up here what changes I've made. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just looking forward to it.
You mentioned after the loss to Jack Cullen, you kind of went into a depression phase or considered your future in the sport. How soon did you break out of that? Was there any in particular moment that you thought, okay, look, I'm going to get back, it was what it was, or was there a specific thing that brought you back into the sport?
It was just basically my dad. I spoke to my dad and I was telling him I was not coming back, to basically tell everyone. And there's something come into me in my head, and my dad was telling me, well, you're going to give all the amateur career away. And basically he said, okay, you got beat out of Jack Cullen by 2 rounds or whatever it was in a round, and he basically said if you had a full fitness camp, a full camp for that there, you would have done a lot better. That was what made me come back, is because that I know that I was not fully prepared for that fight. I had like 5 weeks to say of training for that fight, and you seen it. I was blown up my ass after 5 rounds. I was in survival mode, to be fair with you, but and the mistakes I was making, and what Grant seen when I come here, Grant, like, I didn't notice it, and then Grant just bring it all out of me. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, basically I'm just back on it. But when it come to the 6 weeks, I wasn't going to come back, and my dad just kept speaking to me, kept saying, "What are you going to give it all away for?" So then I just thought, you know what, I'm going to give it one more try, and I know that wasn't me in the ring. Do you know what I mean? So that's what made me come back more, is that to prove everyone wrong, and everyone basically is turning the back on me. I'm just going to prove them wrong. That's what's in the back of my head now, is that I'm proving people wrong. And you only can go by your last performance, and my last performance was absolutely terrible. And everyone in their right mind should be looking that way, thinking John Docherty is useless. And you've got to go by my last performance. And I'm a humble guy now, and I've been beat. My last fight, even the lead up to it, that was not me speaking. I'm not a man that speaks like that there, and I'm just being humble. Jack Cullen's humbled me, basically. So I've come to the gym, and Grant's doing very good work with me, and I've just got to keep working away.
Now that's the new trainer. You mentioned other changes to your team. Somebody I know very well, international man of mystery, Al Siesta, manager, matchmaker, promoter, boxing extraordinaire. Tell me about the link up with him. Of course, somebody I know very well.
Basically, obviously, when Matchroom, he was at Matchroom shows, and we used to speak to him all the time, and I used to get on with him. You know what? I was thinking of who to go with and changing management, obviously, and my dad went to me, "Oh, what about Al Siesta?" I said, "You know what? I forgot about Al Siesta." And basically, I spoke to Al Siesta. He's got like a very good, well-known of boxing promotions around here. Do you know what I mean? So, and especially abroad as well. So it gives me more options, and he can get me on shows that I couldn't have gotten before. So I just thought, you know what? Let's go for it, and he's telling me the plan we're going to go for, and everything now is getting put together, and Al Siesta's got me on the right track, and he's got good contacts here, Al Siesta, as you know yourself, so I'm just looking forward to what he can bring out of me.
He does have a lot of contacts across the continent. Obviously does a lot of shows in Europe. He's really, if you look at the fighters that he's had in the past, I know Luther Clay's not with him anymore, but he's not been shy of putting them on a show in Lithuania or putting them on a show in Latvia. Do you think that might be beneficial to you if you could get a show without kind of the intense scrutiny and the eye on you on the back of that loss? Do you think that might be good for you in the short term, potentially getting some good fights, but maybe potentially slightly lower profile fights to rebuild?
Definitely. We're going to see. I mean, he's going to put me in, obviously, the shows he's got coming up, and whatever fight I have to take at the time, I'll take. I'm not doing it to please them now. Everyone is looking, Grant especially, is looking out for me. So when a fight gets taken, he speaks to me first, and then he obviously takes over himself if it's a good fight for me at the right time. Do you know what I mean? So I've just got to keep listening to Grant, what he's saying in the gym, and as I've said, I've been down here when I've supposedly fighting the beginning of May. That'll have be about 11-week or 12-week camp. Do you know what I mean? So I'm fully fit. I'm in very good shape just now, and you're going to see when I get weighed in the differences I've made from the last camp. You're going to see a completely different John Docherty, even on the scales. Like the things I used to do to make weight was a joke. Like, and when I've come down here and I've sat down with Feed Fusion as well, and just got my weight taken, and it was an absolute joke the way I was doing my weight. And I've just changed my whole life. Basically, I've went to a full-time athlete now, and for the 10 weeks when I'm in camp, all I do is think is live and breathe boxing, eating my food right, eating the food at the right times, water, just everything.
Looks as though, or sounds as though at least, that the loss could be a blessing in disguise for you, considering the changes you've made compared to what you were doing going into that fight.
Definitely. honest to God, see the things I've done where you would laugh. Like, I've told Grant and the S&C coaches what I was doing, and it was unbelievable how I got away with it. And basically, the Jack Cullen fight, I thought I could get away with it, what I was doing, but I never. And if I did, would I have done the exact same thing again for the next fight? Maybe not, but maybe I would have. But I'm glad I've lost now, and the people that's obviously turned their backs on me, and even like sponsorship and all that, they've all dropped me. I just can't wait to get back on the winning ways and winning titles, and then seeing their faces. I mean, I'm just wanting to have a full-time athlete now, and I'm going to see the beneficial at the end of this camp.
Okay, well, before I let you go, one thing that I wanted to speak to you about, somebody whose name has always been kind of linked with yours, Willie Hutchinson. Yeah. This past weekend lost his unbeaten record in emphatic style to Lennox Clark. What did you make of the fight?
I just thought it was weight. Lennox Clark boxed very well, don't get me wrong, and I thought Willie was going to win that fight. Not comfortable, but I did think he was going to win the fight. But Lennox Clark, then again, he believed in himself the whole way through it. So fair play to Lennox Clark, but Willie Hutchinson, I just thought it was the weight. He kind of died after the third round, and he put everything into that third round, and he kind of died off. And maybe I'm wrong, and I've got nothing to say. I've had a loss, so I don't want to say nothing too bad about him because it's horrible. But I don't. You don't want him to go and quit now after like his amateur pedigree. He's got a very good amateur pedigree. I mean, so if it was Irish option, I'd move up to light heavyweight and to a weight. He's more thing with that because that's super middleweight. I just knew he would struggle. He's only made 12 stone in a while. Do you know what I mean? So if he does come back, I'd move up if I was him. And he's still got plenty of improvement, and he's still got plenty of time on his side. I mean, he's only young. He's only 22-year-old. I mean, I've known Willie for ages, and like obviously for the travelling background, and he doesn't live too far away from me. So, and obviously we've boxed. I mean, so I know Willie very well. It was an amateur squad with each other on the Scotland team. So, I wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he comes back fighting. And hopefully he doesn't stop. I know it's easy to quit and go back to working, but hopefully he can come back and come back to his winning ways and get back to himself.
Yeah, it's a nice message, and you know, something that you've been through a very similar experience in recent times, so I'm sure those words will be well received. Okay, before I let you go, finally, what's the plan coming up? I understand that there's some talk about you potentially boxing it over in the next few weeks. Yeah. What can you tell me? I
can't really say much, but I'm boxing probably the beginning of May. I am boxing in the beginning of May. I can't say what show. And I think it's an 8-round, and I'm going to fight for an intermediate title, and just see where it goes. The British title's there; it's there to fight for. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'm fighting for an 8-round and then an intermediate title, and if I have to defend that, I'll defend it. Whatever comes up. So basically, my next 2 fights is an 8-round and an intermediate title. That's what my plan is. So, but first of all, I want to get through this first fight. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be no journeyman, and it's not going to be nobody great, but it's going to be there to give me rounds anyway.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing it. Thanks very much, as always, for speaking to Boxing Social. Always a pleasure to catch up with you. You do look in fantastic shape, much better shape than I do, which is why I'm on this side of the camera and not that. Thanks very much, John. Always a pleasure. Catch up with you soon.
Well, thank you very much for coming down as well. Cheers.